an important part of holding space is knowing when you need to take space and that there's a difference. So taking space is when you're triggered and you realize that you're getting ready to say something, do something that later you might regret. And I think if you spend a little time in your own background, you'll realize how often have you spewed somewhere later to wish you hadn't. So taking space is really hard when both of you are triggered. So somebody comes to you with an issue or a problem, or they want to talk something out that's happening with them, and you're trying to hold space for them, and you wind up triggered, and what to do with that piece. If you can get yourself calmed back down, great. If you can't, and you recognize, ooh, I need to take space, I need a little timeout, and to not look at timeout or taking space as something bad. What you're doing is spending time with yourself, trying to work some of this stuff out for yourself so that you can go back and be present in the moment with what's happening over there. That's taking space.
It's a really good diffuser too.
Very good.
Because usually while one's calming down, the other one is doing the same.
Also doing the same thing. Yes. And if you don't do that, that's where fights really get out of hand. They turn to fights. They really can turn into fights, and they can escalate very quickly.
And I would like to add to that too. A lot of people that I know kind of misconstrue fight and argument. Mm-hmm. And I do believe there's both. And I do believe that when you're in a partnership, you do end up with a lot more arguments. Mm-hmm. However, there shouldn't be that many fights if it is a healthy one. That doesn't mean you can't work towards a healthy relationship together. But you shouldn't be fighting on a regular basis. Now, arguing, yeah, you might raise your voice a little bit or something on that nature, but you're not going to be insulting each other and throwing each other under the bus and just being offensive. You're going to be more, it's going to be more of a heated discussion, so to speak.
Yeah. Yes, and, what's under an argument? A discussion.
Mm-hmm. And what makes it an argument? The heated emotion,
those
right?
Heated emotions. So good time to say, you know what? I feel myself really getting heated here, and so now my thoughts are getting kind of jumbled, and I don't want to hurt. We're supposed to be doing this together, trying to figure something out, and I see that I'm not doing that, so I'm going to go take 5. Mm-hmm. So, but the important thing about taking space is you're not taking space so you can go call your best friend and spew about your argument, because that best friend is going to get on your hayride and that's counterproductive.
If you've ever seen White Chicks, you know exactly what that looks like, except that's obviously way over dramatized. However, you'll see the result of the best friend call in that movie.
Yeah, so
good movie.
So is it?
Oh, it's hysterical. The Wayans brothers did it.
Oh, I like the Wayans brothers. Yeah. So get into quiet. Get into you and yourself, because and let the partner or the person that you're having the issue with, let them know you're going to come back. Let them know and give them some kind of time frame, because for many people, when someone wants to take a little time out and take a break, that will freak the other person out. Mm-hmm. And so you need to reassure.
And try to make that break not like, oh, I'm going to go leave for an hour.
Yeah.
Like, try to just take a separate place in the house. Because if you leave, that does bring a lot of anxiety.
It can.
If you're just like, I'm going to go take a shower, and then when I come back, maybe we'll both be calmer and we'll talk this out. Or, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go, take a quick 5-er on the back porch and get some fresh air. But at least that gives them some range, and a lot of people have anxiety about, they don't want the other person's family members to feel some type of way about them that's negative. They're trying to make a good impression with those people, and or friends or whatever, or
Yeah.
there might be anxiety about cheating. And so the minute you go to leave, it brings up those emotions of, oh God, are they going to see that person, or is this person not going to like me next time I walk in the door, or are they at some other lady's house, or and you don't want to increase that, because then when you do come back to it, it is going to be a heated argument at minimum usually.
Yeah.
That's usually what makes it into an actual fight. So be careful about that, and if you have the ability, try to just do it that way. Like,
yeah, it's one of the places that boundaries. I mean, really what we're talking about is boundaries. So the boundary being, I need a break. I'm not going to leave unless that's truly okay with both of you. For some
Right.
people, driving is, very
and some are okay
calming,
with
and
it.
some are, so just depending on the situation.
Yes.
And that's one of the things about boundaries.
And thank you for noting that.
Yeah, okay. They fluctuate and they're different for everybody.